Hi, it's Coach Mo Faul here, and I'm going to use a term that people throw around like, I don't know, like it's free, and it really is costly. And that is this loaded phrase called imposter syndrome. As a professional woman, being denied access, being denied anything that you want, being told to work hard, you've likely turned your inner self into a smaller version of you. And even though you have this education and diplomas and certifications and expertise and experience, that little version inside of you is really how you feel about yourself. And this is what imposter syndrome is. I feel little inside, even though I've got all of this to offer the world. And you know what happens? You end up playing too small in your career. Taking on roles that are just not big enough for you means that people aren't listening, that you're being shut down for giving advice because that's not the pay grade you're at. They don't want to hear from you, but you're like, but I have answers. I see it differently. I see it better. I know I could, but you're not at the level because inside you have sacrificed and put up with a lesser version of you. And this is what imposter syndrome is all about. You have compromised the inner you, and you have then compromised the outer you. So people aren't listening to you, and you're not invited into the meetings because you're not at the level that you're really built for, because that inner you is inconsistent with the outer you. So you end up playing too small. You're frustrated with your boss because you're smarter than him or her. You're like looking into a mirror, and instead of seeing the fierce lioness that you are, you're seeing a little kitty cat that can't really get their own milk. And that image distortion is a key factor why most women are missing the career rungs that move them upward. If you have this little self inside of you that is timid and afraid and has been told not to and don't, of course you're going to have this imposter syndrome. Of course you're going to be playing too small and not really know what it's all about. We can help fix that. When I learned how to step into my truth and my power and take on bigger assignments and take my inner, even though I wasn't feeling totally ready, but taking my inner courage and just stepping into it and believing that I was going to figure it out. And if people who aren't as smart as me can figure it out, well then why can't I? But don't let that little kitten inside stop you from being who you really want to be in your career. Don't let imposter syndrome be a thing for you. Most career women just live day in and day out, month after month, year after year, decade after decade, with this syndrome of the mismatch of the inner self with what the outer self could be all about. Most of my clients say, Mo, where were you 20 years ago? Where were you 10 years ago? 5 years ago? Do not wait to step into who you can be. Your career is worth millions of dollars. For some reason, we treat our car, which is worth 30 or 40,000, much better than we treat our career, which is worth millions. Stop having this small, broken down version of you lead the show. It's time to fix it and grow into and feel into the authority, the education, the expertise, and the experience you bring to the table. Let's fix this imposter syndrome once and for all. And you can do the same thing that thousands of my clients have done. They have said, thank goodness I finally made a decision for myself. And now I feel awesome. Now I feel like I could do anything in the world. And they're landing promotions, next level up jobs. They're interviewing even sometimes for 2 level up jobs because we help them see who they are on the inside and match that with their external self. If you see a resume that's your total awesome self, but you don't feel it inside, you're not even going to land the interviews, much less convince someone that you should have that next level job. You got to fix that inner you. You got to fix this imposter syndrome to play at the level that you are built for and ready for. Stop playing too small. Stop having this inner image problem. Let's get at it, ladies. Women, we need to take the next rung and the next rung and be in more powerful positions. And in order to begin prepping your way for this big evolution of you, how about if you make a commitment for yourself today and make some small changes? Let the universe know that you're ready for change by making small changes. How about if you drive to work, drive a little bit differently to work? How about if you start your work day 30 minutes later? Ooh! How about if you literally spend time the next morning for yourself and don't log in so early? How about if you actually tackle something important to advance something at your workplace or personally before you get sucked in to the emails and messages? Do something different today that will signal not only to the universe, but also subconsciously that you are a woman who is ready for change. Do these small little changes today, and then another one tomorrow and the next day, and you begin to pave the road for you being that next version of you. Go ahead and try one of these things. Eat something different for lunch. Do something different with your coffee or tea routine in the morning. Signal it's time for change. When you start that path, it's going to feel like you're ready. It's your time to no longer play small. It's your time to feel awesome about who you are and all of the work you've done to educate and become experienced in your field. Let's have you roar. That's what I'd like for you. Do you want it too? Book your call with my team today to see how we can help you. We'll see you next time.